Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I'm having nightmares right now.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing says football like scented soap.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
I feel like the wise man, with some of the drops that we have from him, did describe what Duval was going to have to endure when we really didn't know it, when he said it. And what was the other one? Soft without
The
T.
T. Yeah.
The T.
Soft without T.
And all the other stuff, okay? Because they're closer to Bed Bath & Beyond than we would like for them to be. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Welcome to week 4, an 0-3 squad getting ready to take on the division champs, the Houston Texans. So we're going to dig into it. We're going to kind of give you – I feel like today might be Attack the Roster Day because of what we talked about yesterday, really the last couple of days, and it's worth reviewing. Suffice to say, I'm at the Golf Club of Southampton last night. Is it Helene? Is that what her name is?
Helene.
Yeah, Helene. We held her off, okay?
I have a great friend named Helene, by the way.
Yeah? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we held her off. We said we stiff-armed her, and we said, we're getting this 9 after 5 in, and we had a great time. But there was some counseling going on with a lot of Jaguar fans, like, WTH. What the H is going on with this team? And they want answers, and I don't know that we can truly provide answers. But when you start thinking about the roster and you start going down second, third, fourth, and for that matter, first-round picks that haven't necessarily delivered, you can start to see a reason why maybe, as Matt described, 22 could be an outlier. So we're going to get into that today.
I think the problem is you said, we're not sure if we have any answers. I don't think they're sure if they have any answers.
Well, that's true.
That's the problem.
That is true.
That's the big problem.
Yes.
When Doug Peterson stands up there and says, you can see some things, some little things in what we're doing, and you build on that. If you're trying to build on little things that you're doing right as opposed to the 90% that you're doing wrong, that's a bad sign 3 weeks into the season.
And I think
that's a 1-16, 3-14 sign heading into the season is what it is.
Which I hate. But one of the biggest things that stood out the other night was the starting lineup on the defensive front. When you looked out and you saw Yasir Abdullah, Jeremiah Ledbetter, and Tyler Lacey as part of your construct up front with your defensive line, what the H?
Trouble.
By the way, Ledbetter made a play.
River City.
Ledbetter made a good play in that game, too. Made a good play.
Well, you listen.
Anyway, that was the big talk last night.
But you remember early on in the preseason, that's why I hate the preseason. We were talking about the packages that Nelson was putting together, the different combinations of groupings and stuff like that, and we praised him for it and stuff. That right there, I mean, that's for the preseason. When I saw what I saw out there at the start of the game, I was like, what? I mean, you're talking about backups. You're talking about guys they're supposed to fit into a rotation, not guys that's going to start a game.
Right, and it had the look of a preseason game. It really did.
Maybe they're still stuck there.
And later on in the game, when you added a Ventrell Miller in there and you added a few others, and you got a bunch of head scratching going on. But that really was what it was last night. And look, there's all kinds of things that Jaguar fans out there have discussed. And another one that Coach Campo brought up, just staying on the Nielsen side, the defensive side, that Coach Campo brought up on Tuesday and we'll probably get back into tomorrow, is that the team that ran the most man-to-man last year ran it at 38% of the time. Brian Nielsen ran it 56% the other night.
Saucy nugs.
And so when that happens and you got a savvy son of a gun like Josh Allen on the other side, operating, dealing, it's so easy to figure out how to take this defense apart.
Yeah, no pressure. Well, we knew Nielsen coming in when he was at Atlanta. his projections were the same. They played man-to-man 56% of the time. But understand, if you play man 56% of the time, you don't take any chances as far as 5-man and 6-man rushes, and you depending on the 4, and they don't get home, then you're asking DBs to cover for 4, 5, 6 seconds, and all Buffalo was doing, like Coach Campbell was talking about, those deep crosses. They were running crossing routes and picking guys off and everything like that, because you got to run with that guy when you go man-to-man. And if you're getting picked, you guys get open, especially if you don't get no pressure.
I love Campo. Off the air yesterday, I said, man, the secondary, I know there were, you got backups in there. And he looks at me and he goes, like immediately, the old secondary coach says, the rush, you got to get home. And he's right. I mean, he's right.
100%.
He's right. If you can't get any pressure on a quarterback,
right,
any quarterback in the league will pick apart any secondary.
Yeah, and
because inherently, receivers have the edge on corners, period. That's the way it works.
Secondaries will suffer. Like the combination of what Matt and Leon is saying, everybody, is that it's going to force a defender in the back to basically hold on to a receiver 3+ seconds. That's a hell of a long time. And then the other half of that is if the jersey never gets dirty, which it really didn't, then you really have embarrassed yourself. What's the whole idea of man-to-man? Just going back to what you said originally, you get to send extra guys after the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Because that way you get to leave guys one-on-one against their best guys, and you're going to send extras when you can, and then they don't get home. And so, you've got problems across the board on both sides of the football. Trevor talked yesterday. Dougie talked yesterday, just talking about how they're going to try and figure everything out, and we'll see. There was one Trevor comment that came out of the presser yesterday that we'll dig up and get RJ to play coming up in just a little bit. Just a little veiled shot at the offensive scheme.
And how we've struggled is that they do bring 4 and they do get home. That's the part we don't get. I mean, we can't get home with 4 on the defensive side, but then on the offensive side, we can't block 4.
Yeah.
We give up pressure. That's so sad.
All right, so we're going to dig into it. We're going to rip the roster apart. They were trying to tear the run game down to its studs. Well, that didn't work. And so we're going to rip the roster apart and just take a look at it from that angle. But I am still fired up that they're going into Houston and they got a chance. And I'll just make the quick point, and I'm not going to be sitting here pom-pomming it or anything like that. But the Houston Texans in 3 football games barely beat an Indianapolis Colts team that we can basically all agree that they're not all of that. They're struggling just like some of the other teams at the bottom half of the National Football League. They barely beat them, and then they barely beat a Chicago Bears team that also is struggling. Both of those teams have a win apiece. And then they got hammered by Minnesota. And so to say that they're a juggernaut and you're not going to go in there and take anything from them based on what Jacksonville has shown to us so far, it's still possible. Matchups are everything. If they can get a run game going, they will have a shot. And Houston losing Joe Mixon. Remember what Joe Mixon did day one?
Yeah.
Opening Sunday, he was ripping apart that again? Yeah, that was against the Colts. He was shredding them. And so now you're going to see whether or not this football team can do something against C.J. Stroud and maybe get some success on that side of the ball. So we get it going. We get it rolling. A Thursday where we're going to talk Jags football, NFL football tonight, look at some of the other big ball games, but then also drill down on the big college games coming up on Friday night and Saturday. Canes Friday night? Tomorrow night.
Virginia Tech, 19.5-point favorites.
Are you worried?
Lay 'em.
I'm not worried. You know, I just have this flashback of last year, 4-0, ranked in the country, Georgia Tech, the Neal.
Yeah, they're going to rout Virginia.
I know it's not the same team, and we got a much better quarterback.
It's
Absolutely,
not the same quarterback.
No, it's not even the same. Yeah, trust me. But no. I'm optimistic about it. I am.
Yeah.
I looked at their schedule. I'm worried about Louisville on the road. Everybody else should be. I'm fine.
I'm with the USA Today Sports columnist
you had
here.
Tyler Van Dyke.
Lay the points.
Tyler Van Dam, but how's he doing right
He was. Lay the points is what it looks like because Virginia Tech.
Get well soon, by the way, TVD. Yeah. Get well soon.
Yeah. He had torn ACL very early in that game against Alabama as the Wisconsin quarterback. But I'm kind of with the USA Today Sports columnist. I'll occasionally throw that in for Matt.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But the idea of laying points against that team, Vandy was a 2-touchdown dog and beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Who came into Blacksburg the other day and walked out? Rutgers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could happen. And we'll find out whether you have another tech.
Well, I'm just interested to see. I mean, the Hurricanes are in a situation right now where they're the hunted now.
Yeah, they are.
They are the hunted. I just want to see how they respond to being the hunted. You're number 7 team in the country. You're at home. So the rest of these games you got to understand that you're going to get that team's best. Mm-hmm. And if they play as they've been playing, they should be fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, RJ.
Thank you, RJ. Appreciate it.
So you're playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
First home, well, not really. Well, first significant home game since the win of Florida, because
True.
fam and it's just not.
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen.
My point is, what are you gonna get? Like 20,000?
Hey, we're winning now. We might get 30. I'm not sure.
Don't you have to at least like half fully?
Yeah. You got to understand, there's stuff to do in Miami, bro. There's stuff to do. Now we have a problem in the Orange Bowl. We sold out because we won all the time, but we might. No, we'll get 40,000.
All right, now real quick, I got to do this since we brought up FAMU against the U early in the season. I saw Peter Schrager's tweet about FAMU, and I feel like I got to bring. This is worth a round of applause, okay? Schrags, you see him on Good Morning Football, and he has the play with the Rams and the 49ers this past week, and you can go find him at P. Schrags. But it basically reads, not recruited, wrote letters to, quote, 100 CFB teams, end quote, goes to Florida A&M, goes undrafted, inserted into the game as a punt returner late in the fourth quarter, and with his first touch ever as an NFL player, doesn't fair catch, and takes it to the house. Xavier Smith. That is worth a round of applause for Florida.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Getting that job
Listen,
done.
FAMU is the best team in Tallahassee right now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Shots.
Look at the record. Look at the record. I'm just go by the record.
Oh.
By the way, you could have said that same little mini bio there for Cam Ward. Wasn't recruited.
Yeah.
Played at a small high school in Texas. Had a chance to go to Incarnate Word, or there was another small FCS school, and they didn't. And apparently, they weren't gonna give him a full scholarship or something like that. And Incarnate Word gives him a full scholarship. He throws for like 5,000 yards the first year, and he goes to Wazoo for 2 years, and then he now blows up at Miami.
It's crazy. All right, I will use that as a backdrop, and we will bring up his numbers come up here in just a second. You want to talk about just a stellar performance and maybe the front runner for the Heisman. So we're going to do college football today. We're going to do Jags. We're going to do NFL. Tonight, you got the Cowboys. An interesting saucy about the Cowboys that we'll bring up coming up in just a little bit. It is XL Primetime, and we also will say thank you to Big Searcy for something really big coming up here in just a second.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. What do you think Dan and Jeff would be doing if they were never hired at 1010XL?
What are we doing? What kind of lives are these?
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
We're like children.
We're not men.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Like I don't know that I'm pathetic.
Hey, John, my dad, Randy Marion's gone absolute Cadillac crazy. You won't believe our Escalade lineup.
Well, how crazy we talking, Jennifer?
Buckle up, folks. We've got over 35 Cadillac Escalades.
35 Escalades? That's luxury overload.
I'm talking fully loaded models, cutting-edge tech, and that signature Cadillac style.
And the deals are even more luxurious. $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Plus 5% off MSRP on retired courtesy vehicles. Head to Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Plus tax tag title $899 MNP and resistol.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Mia here. If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they are still running that double deposit bonus. Just sign up with promo code 1010XL and you will have a massive winning week. Start with college and NFL games on Thursday night. Get signed up now for Virginia Tech traveling to face those Miami Hurricanes. The Canes are 17-point favorites with a total at 55.5 at MyBookie. With the way Miami's been scoring, covering that spread should be no problem. And how about a Thursday night football divisional matchup? The Cowboys travel to face the Giants in New York. The Giants are 4.5-point home underdogs coming off of a win. If you think they can keep this one a close one, be sure to take the home dogs. For a limited time, MyBookie again is bringing back that double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to double your money. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie.
Hurricane season is here, and if you own or run a business, you must protect your valuable property from parking lot floods. Call Duck Duck Rooter, your storm drain maintenance experts. Our VACCON team specializes in regular storm drain maintenance to keep your property safe and secure. With Duck Duck Rooter, you can trust our professionals to keep your storm drains clear, preventing floods and ensuring the well-being of your customers and employees. Call us today at 904-862-6769 to schedule your storm drain maintenance. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com for more information.
Baloo for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
We could call them helmets and cleats, but they don't wear cleats.
Those shoes are hot.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
You think you could join us?
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Are you still asking the question, why Arlington? Lucky for you, I've got all the answers. Mia here. Arlington's lot is packed with new Toyotas in stock in one location, ready to go home with you today. 60-day exchange. That's 60 days to love your new Toyota purchase or exchange it for one that you do. Worried about financing? There's the Arlington Credit Helper. You even get a complimentary car wash with every service. So instead of asking, why Arlington? I'm going to ask, why aren't you here yet? 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or at arlingtontoyota.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Thanks to the good folks at Florida Home, official AC partner of the Jaguars. You need it. They got it. They certainly take care of Joe C. and make sure I'm cool all the time, even though I'm not really the coolest. They make sure that I stay cool. Definitely check them out, FloridaHomeAC.com. So we mentioned that Leon did something cool for us. And before we even get into some of those sick stats that Cam Ward's got and get back to ripping the roster for your Jaguars, did he not bring in great amounts of grub today? Round of applause for Big Stars because he brought
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Listen, all they need to know is who did you go to?
Oh, the tight lady.
That's it.
For people who don't know who the tight lady is, the tight lady was the phrase was coined at Miami. All right, the training table. It was a lady that prepared our food, and she would always give us extra stuff. When we say tight lady, you know, tighten me up. So she gave you extra food. So this place that I go to now, she reminds me of tight lady. Because as soon as I came in the door, she said, "Baby, I ain't seen you in a while." I said, "You right, Miss Tight Lady." I said, I came back to see you. I told the fellas yesterday I was coming to see you. She said, "Oh, that's so sweet. What you need? What you need, baby?"
Load me up.
Load me up.
Copious amounts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, so we're eating good in the neighborhood right now. You go to the YouTube, my Bookie Digital Studios, but we are hanging out with big full bellies right now. That's for sure. All right, so I mentioned what Cam Ward has done, and honestly, I don't know exactly how soon people look and kind of plug in their head that hey, he's the Heisman winner, but he looks like maybe he might be the Heisman frontrunner, and it's just the way we operate in today's world. You need to be on a winning team to be in the Heisman conversation, right or wrong. Would you agree with that, both of you guys?
I think it's a big part of it. Yes.
Yeah. Fair or unfair?
Yeah.
You can, in other words, I'll give you we might even do this as one of our. You be the judge. Travis Hunter's not on a good football team.
Yeah, but he should be invited.
He might
definitely should be invited.
Might be the best player in the league, right?
Might be the best player in college football.
Yeah.
And so we might use that one as one of our. You be the judge coming up just a bit. But Cam Ward right now is a betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. He has thrown for 1,439 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 2 picks.
I'll tell you even better what he did against USF last week.
Yeah.
And it's midway through that game, and they've been jawing at him the entire game, USF. It was in Tampa, so it was a big game for them, and they've been jawing at him. And it was tight early.
They had to bring in extra stands just to get beat bad late.
So the Canes started to pull away, and they're inside the goal line. I think it was 2nd and goal from like the 1. And they've been jawing at him the whole drive. A couple late hits, too. So they get to the line of scrimmage, and Cam starts pointing to the A-gap to the right of the center. He starts pointing. He keeps pointing there. And you're like, what's he doing? And then he gets under center, and he keeps pointing at it, and he keeps yelling at the guy across the way.
Yeah.
In other words, he's saying, it's going right there. Stop it. Snap comes.
Yeah.
First back through, second back through. It's the old second man through play. Right isolation, too. Right where he said it was going. Touchdown.
He Babe Ruthed him. He said that's where it's happening.
But that's some confidence in your offensive line right there.
Yeah.
That's your offensive line dictating tempo and basically whooping their behinds.
I mean, Trevor could do that if he walked to the line and said,
with this line? Please.
Back in the day, your Steelers, they ran just a same set of plays.
Yeah.
And it's basically, hey, we're going to do this, but you can't stop.
All we had was toss, shoot, crack, lead, dive, and counter. 5.
Mm-hmm.
You come stop us.
Yeah. You can't figure out how to do it.
You probably ran him out of like 10 formations, right? And that's it.
That's it.
Yep. So you guys have, back to the U, you guys have gone from Tyler Van Dam to Cam Ward. Miami has scored 40 points in each of his first games and allowing 17 or fewer per game so far this season.
Yeah.
So are they, and we'll just kind of throw it out there right now, just for something to chew on. Are they the surprise team when it comes to the CFP? Or is it Tennessee? Who else would you put up there as far as the talk that maybe can get there and go far?
I say that it was a surprise team because I was watching all the preseason rankings by conference. Then Florida State was at the top, Clemson, North Carolina State, then Miami. So Miami was projected to finish 4th out of the ACC. So right now, where they are right now, the perennial favorites, I would say it's a surprise for now anyway. But real quick on Cam Ward being the Heisman, I think this Saturday between Georgia, that could be a Heisman moment for Beck and Milrose.
Yeah, both of those guys.
I mean, you got to think. See, I don't think Miami has that game where you can, where Cam Ward can have that Heisman moment. These Milrose and Beck this Saturday night, that's a Heisman moment right there. It's got to be.
I agree with you that I don't know that Cam Ward has that type of game because, like we said, the Miami schedule is a cakewalk. But he's still gonna have the primetime games. I believe the Florida State game's an 8:00 game.
Yeah, it is. It's primetime.
So he's still gonna get those big games. The ACC
flex it out.
The ACC championship game is an 8:00 kick too, and that'll be against a pretty good Clemson team, a Clemson team that might only have one loss actually.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a stage of sorts. And if he keeps putting up the numbers he's putting up, it's going to be very difficult for him to not at least be a finalist, much less win it.
Yeah.
So, I think he's still got a great chance. Now, if Carson Beck throws 4 touchdown passes and they win in Alabama,
right,
and they just keep rolling and he keeps putting up good numbers, good to great numbers, no one else has a chance. He's winning it.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot. I guess my whole point is there's still a lot of time to go in this race.
Well, I agree with Carson Beck, and I think Miami is just now resurfacing as a brand. Georgia's has been the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Carson Beck, I think if it came down to Cam Ward and Carson Beck, and like you said, Georgia Rose or whatever,
right.
I think the bigger brand right now is GA over Miami.
And whether
I mean, frankly, if and I know High Tide's probably sitting back going, what do you mean, Georgia?
So you got the burn?
He's right. I mean, and he's right, because if Jalen Milroe does that, if Jalen Milroe throws 4 touchdown passes and they beat Georgia, you better believe it. He vaults into it.
Well, I will always submit as evidence how easily you can be swayed when it comes to the Heisman vote, and the best team, best player factor always seems to play in. Leonard Fournette went into one of the biggest games in the SEC in quite some time, SEC lore, LSU versus Alabama.
Yeah.
He went in as the Heisman favorite, and Derrick Henry exited as the Heisman favorite because Alabama won. Derrick did his thing. Leo, not so much. And Derrick Henry walked away with the hardware, a few short weeks later.
Yeah.
That's how quickly it happens. Everyone just flipped on a dime and went Derrick Henry's way. So,
prisoner of the moment voters, what they are.
Yeah, quite often. All right, so let's at least stay on that front. We're going to get back to the Jags roster woes. There's a lot of chatter out there about Bill Belichick and whether he's going to get back in and where he might be. So that's also something that we can dip our toe in. You guys can hit the text line 641-1010. You can jump in the YouTube My Bookie Digital Studios and throw a comment there as far as Georgia and Alabama, which one you like there, and can the Jags claw their way back into the conversation by getting a win Sunday against the hated Houston Texans?
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Now, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Gator Injury Report.
The Florida Gators approach their bye week as it's a much-needed one early on in the season. The team has struggled to stay healthy this year, so having a week to play catch-up from the injuries will help out before they face UCF next Saturday night. The Gators' week off will also give them a chance to nurse the week-to-week injuries, such as wide receiver Eugene Wilson and Jaquavion Fraziers, as well as cornerback Devin Moore. Once again, I'm Max Fink here with your Gator Injury Report, presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Southampton invites you to enjoy a round of golf and then a round with your buds, thanks to their game day special. Every Saturday and Sunday during the season, order up 10 wings and a cold pitcher for just $22. Plus, being a member at Southampton has its privileges, like a $500 gift card when you join with a paid initiation fee. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Twilight Golf every day with special rates after 3 o'clock. Don't forget trivia Thursday nights and music on the patio Friday night. All at the Golf Club of Southampton.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 26, 1996, San Francisco Giants' Barry Bonds becomes the second MLB player to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases in a season.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
This right here is as good as it gets. This is life getting lived without obligations or complications. This is filling your cup and savoring the moment. This is the gift of presence, served to you in a place where there's room for everyone and enough to go around. And the best part, it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
I-9 Sports wants to make sure kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. And right now, fall and winter registration is open. Find out what I-9 Sports offers across Duval, Clay, and St. John's. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality product. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJax.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway at Pella Windows and Doors.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Questions are circulating about Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson being on the hot seat here in Jacksonville. Peterson addressed the media on Wednesday morning and was asked if he's feeling the pressure of the 0-3 start.
I mean, obviously our sense of urgency is heightened, obviously, at 0-3. I mean, that's not where we want it to be. And now we're facing a really good Houston football team on the road. It doesn't get any easier, so I don't think I have to say much, obviously about these types of weeks. It's a matter of, continuing to trust our process and the standard we've set here and continue to work through it.
Doug Peterson, courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So the injury report just came out for your Jacksonville Jaguars, and I tell you what, hamstrings, they may be the death of this team early, that's for sure, but Evan Ingram, another day of a DNP, did not practice. And so if you're playing the odds, you should not expect to see him. We have Foye Oluokun with now that reported plantar fasciitis concern, foot injury, did not practice. Tank with the shoulder, limited, but we know that he was able to play this past week. Darnell Savage with the quad, limited, so that's at least good news. Cam Robinson with the knee, limited. And after all, he has been limited in terms of his play as well, right? Wouldn't you agree with that?
EKG. Right, you don't have to play any kind of any body part after that. Just Cam Robinson, limited.
Limited.
Did you get an EKG?
Gabe Davis with the shoulder, limited. Anton Harrison, limited. So that's at least a little bit of a positive with the knee if they are able to get him out on the right-hand side. And that would provide an option for Phil Rauscher and Doug Peterson if they wanted to put Walker at left. So getting Anton back on the right-hand side is real important.
Is it?
Well, to make sure that if Walker has to go in for Cam, that's the only reason I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But most of the guys are limited. The two did not practice, Foye and Evan.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I had hope for that kid this season.
Yeah.
Because he played well down the stretch last year.
Yeah.
And I was just expecting more out of him. I don't know why. I don't know why he's regressed these last 3 games.
He really has, and I honestly can't really see how these guys take steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I saw it in training camp. I saw him short-sighting his sets, and and I was saying to myself at training camp, I said, man, that's not going to get it done. I mean, but what's allowed? What's allowed in practice? You've got to fix that. Yeah. He's too short on his set.
So are you going to say?
He turns too early.
Because I feel like when you say that Phil Rosher should be correcting that.
Yes, especially if he's getting beat. You've seen it for 3 weeks. You've got to fix it. You've got to fix it. He does not follow through on his sets. He turns too early, and he's giving guys a short angle. He's got to keep kicking, get his hand, and force those guys. Why? His sets are too short and giving guys the turn. He's like a turnstile right now. He kick, turn. I mean, and listen, and if you're a defensive player, if you're a defensive end, you're watching film on them. Right. And you're watching film on them, and the defensive player said, look at, okay, kick, turn. Okay, this is how you beat them. And what they're doing is they're getting upfield and they're turning the corner because he's turning his body. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I can see it, I know people that get paid well at the stadium can see it and fix it.
That's how I would be looking at it. And that's probably one of the biggest indictments is that you can see clear concerns as far as just simple technique. And, heck, we can go up and we can look at that Buffalo Bills team, and it's hard to believe. But if this one may be just as big of a that just happened, it's still hard to believe. But I'm going to go ahead and give it to you right now anyway because RJ just sent it to us. But of the offensive linemen right now, the guy that is grading at the top, okay, and this is, let's see here, ESPN Analytics.
Don't be. First off, before we even get into this, if you tell me one or two different guys, I'm gonna puke. If you tell me Cam or you tell me Ezra Cleveland, I'm gonna puke.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, Tight Lady set us up, so I do not want to see you puke. Who was the quarterback the other day that he couldn't take the snap because the center had puked on it?
Oh,
he couldn't throw the pass.
Was that college?
It was the NFL.
Was it Minnesota? I can't remember who it was.
Wow.
No, it was Malik Willis. He said he.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. He said he couldn't throw the pass because the center puked on it.
Right. He said, Coach, he threw up on it.
That is just disgusting. All right. So, according to ESPN Analytics, my man, Mitch Morse, 97% pass block win rate percentage, ranks 5th among offensive linemen interiorly. The Jaguars also have had a much better rushing team in 2024. Thank you, Daniel Griffiths.
I mean, clearly they run the ball better. That's why they're 3-0.
Yes. Or you got that backwards.
Right.
That's right. Wait, you know what that is? That's a dyslexic stat is what that is. Okay, you got that one just slightly.
All this slightly
backwards.
All these numbers and these analytics, and it's all just if you can't block, I don't care what analytics say.
Yeah. Well, like we said, there have been decent times where they have blocked, and I think the average time that Josh Allen got rid of the football is about the same time that Trevor's been operating with. He just is delivering it quicker, more accurately, and for bigger plays. So that's where we are, unfortunately.
No, I'm not buying that.
Well, hey,
I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care. Okay, because because I watch the game and I see the pressure he's facing. It's different.
Well,
you could say, okay, he has 2.7 seconds. If 2.1 of it is with the guy in his face, believe me, that's a different story.
Okay, I feel like I know if we went and kind of broke them all down, we might be able to come up with.
I don't care who is playing quarterback for the Jaguars right now. They're going to suck.
Did you see Jaden Daniels get absolutely leveled and drop a dime in Terry McLaurin's lap?
Of course I did. Guess what? Trevor got hammered and made a good throw against the Bills.
Yeah,
hammered.
Yeah, you have to make those throws. And
I'm not disagreeing with that. All I'm telling you is if Pat Mahomes himself was playing for this team behind that line, there'd be problems.
Yeah, believe me, I haven't taken the line off the list. I'm just saying it's one of many. And by the way, scheme it up by running the football more.
Right. I get. I just don't like the fact that throwing this all on the quarterback. It's not all on the quarterback. No, and I get the whole concept of he gets all the praise and all the criticism. That's fine. It's not all the quarterback. It's a three-pronged system to actually throw the ball in the NFL. Protect, get separation for receivers, and quarterbacks got to throw on time and with anticipation. And if one of those three doesn't happen, problems.
But I do feel like we all keep saying we can't go with a short passing game because that's what they were last year and all that kind of not nonsense to me. You have to create higher percentage success plays to be able to take the deep shot. You have to do that, and you have to run the football. Yeah. And they ran for a 4+ yards per carry in that game. They only ran they ran it less than 20 times, but it was still 4+ yards.
Yeah, and Trevor and Trevor has to take what the defense gives you.
Yes,
everything. Yeah, you can't. Everything can't be down the field. What they give you, I mean, it may be a check down, it may be a crosser. But if the defense gives you that, you dictate the tempo of the defense by where you throw the ball.
That I would agree with.
He will frustrate the
He's
hell
not
out
doing that enough. He's not taking the profit enough. I would agree with that completely. He's trying to do too much in the second, third levels, and I understand that because he's trying to make a big play because they're drowning right now, man. They are drowning. So he's trying to do anything he can to help them.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's kind of like on the other side of the ball, whenever a guy thinks that someone else is not doing their job, they try and take on too much.
Of course.
Yeah, and then it ends up being a problem. All right, let's do this right now.
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
They got it going on because Boldtoberfest is going. It's going to last through the weekend, and then they're going to go into their anniversary month. So everything happening at Bold City Brewery. Downtown, right there on Bay Street, and then the original production house on Roselle in Riverside, as they will soon celebrate, 16 years. They've been in Duval since 2008, the first craft brewery here in Duval. And so right now, I'll tell you about the specials, but let me give you the question first. Name the only team in the National Football League that has never played a road Thursday night game on 3 days rest. Only NFL football team that has never played.
Who's playing tonight?
Thursday night road game
Giants
on 3 days rest.
All right, I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
You think I'm baiting you?
Of course you are. This is what you do. I know exactly what you're doing.
I'm baiting you. What do you think?
I'm going with the Giants.
I would like to give it to Leon because he brought a scrub from the tight lady, but it's bad. And
real quick, I want to go back to something real quick.
Hang on, let me just finish this. And Dallas, the reason Dallas is on the road, so that is the correct answer. They have never played a Thursday night game on the road. Why? Because they always have a Thanksgiving game, which is always at home.
Right.
And so they never, ever have gone on 3 days rest. And now this is the first time since we have had Thursday night football that they are going on the road. And they're a favorite. And the Giants just picked off Cleveland. And who knows, they may be feeling it. Dallas, not necessarily feeling it right now. That's going to be an interesting watch tonight.
Cowboys aren't losing that game. They're going to rout them. I'm going to go back to something real quick, okay? Because I think this is very important. When I was talking about it's a three-pronged way when you to have success in the passing game. If you watch the Bills, everyone's saying, well, look at Josh Allen. Watch the Bills in that game, okay? Number one, they protected. He had a clean pocket all night. That's number one. Number two, did you see any of those corners on those receivers? Were any of those throws tight windows?
Not really.
Right. Hang on. Yeah. Number three, every one of his throws was accurate. So everything worked out in that process.
Yeah.
But the Jaguars, they can't block. The receivers can't get separation. And Lawrence is not throwing the ball as accurate as he did before.
Yeah. And we can flip it either way because what you said is true because the top draft picks and the top paid rushers for this football team never got to Josh. 28 pass rush attempts from Josh Hines Allen, 1 pressure. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
0 from Trayvon, 1 from Eric Armstead. This team gave up 21 pressures. To your point, that line in that situation, I wish I could say it like you do. Terrible. Because that's
terrible.
That's exactly what they were.
I will say this, though, and this cannot be lost either. Honestly, and I hate saying injuries, but Evan Ingram not being in that team hurts them.
Yeah.
He hurts them. He's He is Trevor's. It's 3rd and 5, and I need to play. That's where he goes.
I guess the only other,
and he gets open. That's the key. He gets separation. The only other guy that's getting separation right now is Brian Thomas, and
the
they're
only
not
thing
getting
you
him the
got to
ball.
put on top of that though is he had 4 targets. He had 1 catch. He had 1 he should have caught against Miami, and he wasn't that open.
On that play. That play, right?
Yeah, well, of the times that they tried to deliver the football to him.
Here's an even bigger question. When you talk about Evan Ingram's absent, why hasn't Strange been developed into something, a viable backup where Evan Ingram is not even
That's
missed?
kind of the point.
Yeah, that'll take us back to rip the roster, okay? Because honestly.
Right. Let's now circle all the way back to rip the roster.
Let's rip the roster.
You're talking about a second-round pick.
Yes. Okay, 2 second-round picks. And Tank Bigsby right now provides a little excitement because he actually is moving fairly well between the tackles carrying the football. He has had success. He was over 6 yards per carry, even over, I think maybe even over 8 for a while against Miami, and then also had a couple of totes against Buffalo and is averaging an okay amount. So he has a chance. And then when Britton Strange stepped into the Evan Ingram role the other day against Cleveland, he actually made a few plays. But then this particular game, he needs to make a play, and he doesn't. And you're right. You need those guys to develop. And then when you go to the 3rd round, and this is what fires me up so much. Let's do the 10-10 takeoff of this, because back-to-back linebackers as I go back in time with Trent Baalke.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
So you go back in time, and I have to remind myself of this. It's a painful reminder, but I have to do it, just like you do as well. Do you recall when Trent Baalke took over your draft after Dave Caldwell was dispatched? You remember Dave, don't you?
Dave's not here.
Thank you. But once he was dispatched, Trent was put in charge, and Trent made the easy decision of going with that number 1 overall pick and going with Trevor Lawrence, and he followed it with Travis Etienne. So really no problem in the 1st round. Then they come back and they get Trayvon Walker, and they pick him over Aiden Hutchinson. And you have to remind yourself, as painful as it is, they jump back in the 1st round to get Devin Lloyd. How's that working? Okay, that's 4 first-round picks in 2 years. Devin Lloyd, who we thought might be a really nice trigger man on the defensive side, turn him loose, let him go. Not so much so far. Not playing very well at all. And not only did he trade back into the 1st round to get Devin Lloyd, he got the next player on his list, another flipping linebacker, that have both basically shared the same position and have been beaten by many. And so it is frustrating as all get out when you look around, 2 4th-rounders that haven't done a whole hell of a lot in Ventrell Miller and Tyler Lacey, 3rd-rounders benched or haven't done a whole lot, back up in Luke Fortner now and Chad Muma, and then on and on and on. 2nd-rounders who haven't contributed enough. That, at the top half of the draft, is unacceptable. That's the 10-10 take. And we can go beyond that with all the other ones too, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, undeveloped talent. And Shad already said, I'm not spending no more money on free agency. Develop this talent. And those guys aren't playing. Or they're not playing well enough where if the starter goes down, then he's not missed.
Right.
Why? How? Okay. For example, Andrews that plays for the Ravens gets hurt. Likely comes in. How is he doing?
Oh my gosh! He instantly.
They don't miss a beat.
He was a just add water guy. He actually passed Mark Andrews as the guy to throw the football to. And as you mentioned, Lamar just stepped right in after a guy who had won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did they miss a beat?
Not a beat.
Not really. Maybe you can argue in the postseason when they went funk in the brain with their decisions, but Lamar's been a superstar.
2-time MVP.
Yeah, and we can go on and on and on with those guys.
Why doesn't that happen here? What's the deal?
And we mentioned Brandon Beane up in Buffalo. They said goodbye to Mitch Morse. They just took the cat to the left of him. I believe it was a left guard. McGovern, they just moved him over, and he walked right into that starter's role. And then who was their tackle? Was it Trent Brown? Graded out as best as you possibly could grade against this Jaguar pass rush, this fierce Jaguar pass rush. It's unbelievable. Okay, so let me ask you a dumb question. Trayvon Walker versus Aiden Hutchinson, and I always come away with, you got to pick the right player, but you also got to draft and develop, right? So has Trayvon Walker been developed properly after they chose him by the coaching staff that's here? and as compared to Aiden Hutchinson just walking in and doing his thing?
Well, here's the thing.
Because he was a better player.
Because I watch, as an offensive tackle, you're trained to watch defensive players, right? So I watch Aiden Hutchinson and I watch Trayvon. Trayvon has two moves, okay? He's got bull rush and one-arm bar. When I see Aiden Hutchinson, you know what Aiden Hutchinson has? He's got speed. He's got rip.
Energy.
That part. He's got rip and spin.
Bend.
He's got chop hands, bend the corner, double moves, bull rush, one-arm bar. I mean, he gives you a plethora of moves. As your offensive tackle, I can tell you this, from experience, I don't want to see Aiden Hutchinson. Give me Trayvon all day because I put hands on that.
Yeah, it's so funny because when you said rip and spin, I think Trayvon had that in his head. It was rip.
He tried it.
Rip and go in reverse because you saw him rushing the other night. He was rushing in reverse.
You know how it looked? I'm gonna say
that was the whirlybird, Joe.
No. Do you know how that looked? You know how you know those little doors that go around in the bank?
Yeah.
The mobile, and you get stuck in one.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like. He was stuck in that.
Well, on cue.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This straight from, I'm just going to say inside these walls. Augustus at Gustavo putting this out. Pass rush win rate on true pass sets among 113 qualifying edge players. Aiden Hutchinson, number 1, 46.2%. Guesses on where Trayvon Walker is?
101st.
How many?
101st.
He's what? 101st.
101st.
We did this yesterday.
Yeah, I know that. I know that, but we have to do it again.
101st.
3.3%. Okay. Matt read this one yesterday. RJ sent it to me. I'm like, we're doing it again.
It's
46% of the time pass rush win rate according to on 113 qualifying edge players. Aiden Hutchinson, number 1. Out of 113, Trayvon, 101st. Ouch.
It's unfathomable. Actually.
Ouch, man. It's XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Bone-crushing blows to game-winning goals.
Yes!
Feel the energy on 1010XL.
History!
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing Prize Picks lately, and I've been winning, baby. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 5 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. This week, I've got Brock Purdy throwing for less than 226.5 yards and CeeDee Lamb with more than 81.5 yards receiving. It's just that easy. Listen, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my picks hit, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineup stays in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
Feeling the heat, Jacksonville? Cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Your system worked hard all summer long to keep you cool. Give it a spa day. Schedule a system tune-up. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Hey, there's a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event going on right now at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan's is known for its natural diamonds and gemstones, but we've had so much demand for lab-grown diamonds that now through the end of September, Monahan Jewelers is having a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event. We've brought in a huge selection of lab-grown diamonds and jewelry to meet this incredible demand. Lab-grown diamond sales event now through the end of September at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Start your week with a Hall of Fame breakfast.
Wow, I'm hungry. How about you?
Join Dan Hicken, Jeff Prosser, and Jags Hall of Famer Tony Baselli for tons of football talk. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Monday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about putting your worries in the right bucket. So often we put our worries in our own bucket, but many times they need to be in God's bucket. The Bible says, present your problems always to God. In other words, leave them in God's bucket. Understand that no matter what is out of your control, it's never out of the control of Almighty God.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to bring your friends out and enjoy our spectacular golf course, which is carved out of some of the highest elevations in North Florida. Hidden Hills Golf Club, unlike any other. Check us out, hiddenhillsgc.com.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at mackenziesrun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. mackenziesrun.org.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by Prize Picks. Last night in high school football, Decoy Creek picked up another win over Bartram Trail, winning 46-26. Games that have been rescheduled due to Hurricane Helene include Baldwin at Bulls and Bishop Kenny at Parker. Both games will be played Monday at 6. You can hear both games live on 1010 AM and 92.5 FM. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at noon for one of the marquee matchups of opening night of the 2024-25 college basketball season, when Florida takes on South Florida here in Jacksonville November 4th. The matchup will be the 25th all-time meeting between the two schools, with Florida holding a 19-5 advantage in the series. Gators are set to have 3 of their starters return from last season, including second-team all-conference star Walter Clayton Jr. Tip-off 7 o'clock November 4th. You can purchase tickets via Ticketmaster.com. It's 84 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Well, we definitely have been batting around a bunch of different things in the beginning of our show today as we're talking about what is and what ain't with your Jacksonville Jaguars and whether or not they can go into Houston and, I don't know, maybe surprise them, surprise us, surprise themselves. I think that's all up for grabs. It is XL Primetime, 3 o'clock hour. Thanks for hanging out with us. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, RJ. We always have a good time when you guys hang out with us, either in the YouTube chat, the MyBookie Digital Studios, or right here on 1010XL. However you consume us, we definitely appreciate it. I say consume, and I will admit that the tight lady gave us quite a good bit of grub today, courtesy of Leon. But a few of our hosts have gone on the weight loss run. And we're talking about Maddie, talking about Dempsey, talking about Hack, almost getting to the 100-pound loss.
He's very close to 100 right now.
Losing 100. Yeah. Okay? That is a lot. And so last night, we had a good time, 9 after 5. Fast Eddie was one of our guests. Now, Fast Eddie's named Fast because he plays golf fast. He doesn't do everything fast. But guess what? He went on the names you have for everybody, man. Fast Eddie went on Awaken 180. Did he? And went fast track and losing 40 lb.
Nice. Good for Fast Eddie.
And he wanted y'all to know, y'all inspired him.
Well done, Eddie.
So he has served this nation as a man of the Navy for a long time, but he's never looked better. And I was very happy for him. I thought that was cool. All right, so we get back to what we were just talking about, and pass rush win rate and this and that, and more than anything else, you just got to be able to get it done. And I have heard some of the narrative. We just brought up the numbers. One guy who was selected second overall at one of the most important positions in football, rushing the passer, is number one at his craft right now, just in terms of pass rush win rate. And the other guy that was drafted before him, right in front of him, is outside of the top 100. And I can't get over that. I hear some people with their narrative, hey, Trayvon's a really good player. Trayvon's this, Trayvon's that. And he may be. But and it wasn't his fault he was selected number one. But son of a gun, football teams need to have the best possible chance to succeed with the best possible players.
Yes. And what Matt alluded to earlier about Aiden Henderson with the energy, and we were talking about this off the air. As an offensive tackle, I was telling that me and Baselli used to watch film on the Ravens, and we could block them. Don't get me wrong, but we hated the two guys we went up against. You know why? Because they were energy guys. They never gave you just one move. Baselli went up against Michael McCrary. Michael McCrary, energy guy, physical, chop, spin, all the kind of stuff like that. You know, now he would handle them, but he would give them fit. Me, Rob Burnett, same thing. Energy, high energy guys. I knew that going into the game that I had to be on my A game all the time because they're bringing it. They're not letting up. And then,
he's a bag of knives out there. Seriously.
Yes.
I mean, he literally can get you at any point, right?
Absolutely.
From any angle, any point, any position.
He doesn't have any give up in him. Yeah. When I watch him play, there's no give up. I mean, he's coming, especially on pass rush. He's coming. He's coming around the corner. He stop moves, double moves. I watch him so much because I spent my whole career watching defensive ends and how to block.
Right, dealing with those
guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you don't go, if you're not perfect in your sets and your techniques and fundamentals, you're gonna get beat.
Simple as that.
You're gonna get beat.
It really does boil down to it. All right, I want to get back to what we were talking about earlier. Not just the Jaguars and the Houston Texans, but also that big game in T-Town, Tuscaloosa. One of our dudes who is a diehard Alabama man. And we know that these two teams have been involved in some serious tilts, and especially when Nick walks the sidelines, he usually has the upper hand when it comes to coaching. And he's been able to do it against one of his proteges in Kirby Smart. And Kirby was Kirby was the first assistant to beat him, right? First guy to pick him off, correct?
No. Jimbo was the first.
Jimbo was the first?
Yeah.
So he's only had a couple of guys that he's lost to as far as assistants.
Kirby got him in 21 national championship game. And I think Jimbo got him the 21 regular season, I believe.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Two of the. Where does McElwain rank in terms of?
It doesn't happen.
No. Okay.
You mean at Florida? You mean, or just in general?
It's just
not happening.
Just a joke. Anyway, High Tide and South Side says Bama is beating Georgia on Saturday. You know it. They know it. And most importantly, Kirby knows it. All the pressure in the world is on him to prove that he had a Saban problem and not an Alabama problem. I'm fascinated by this game because
he did win a national title against Nick.
Against Nick. Yeah, but still, the numbers.
John Mechie and Jameson.
Yeah, he had.
Williams weren't really
playing.
So.
Two significant injuries.
Well, Mechie definitely wasn't playing, and Jameson went out after midway through the second quarter.
Right. So you had one in the SEC championship game.
Bryce Young had basically no receivers in that game.
One in the SEC championship game get knocked out with an ACL, and then into the Natty, another one knocked out with an ACL, which is something else.
Well, I asked Matt this off the air. He said more than likely these teams are going to see each other 3 times. And I said, well, give me the win rate ratio. Who wins?
Is it one wins all 3 or one wins 2 of 3?
I asked Matt.
It could. Texas and Georgia could play 3 times too.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama and Tennessee could play 3 times. That's the beauty of it. Ohio State and Oregon could play 3 times. Ohio State and Michigan could play 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the point I was making to Leon, we talk about this all the time. I would much rather see Alabama and Georgia play 3 times than Alabama play a TCU in a championship game.
Oh, sure.
I mean, much rather see that.
I'll take Titan tilts all day long.
Yeah, that's what you're getting with the playoff now.
Yeah.
That's why, I've been saying forever, this is the next level of college football, this new playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the closer we get to the end of October and early November, when every game starts to impact those 12 seeds, you're going to see everybody is going to be like, oh, my God, this is phenomenal.
All right, so just a real quick exercise. And off the top of your brain, who has the better roster? Alabama or Georgia? Who has the better roster? Just off the top of your brain.
Georgia.
I'm going to lean
Georgia. I'm going to say Georgia.
Okay, you're probably going to lean.
I'm going to lean Georgia.
And the only point I would make
just a subtle lean too.
Right. The only point I would make to quasi or semi agree with you is as soon as Kalen DeBoer took the job, there were defections. And when Julian Sain and Downs and some of these guys leave, you're talking about, and even though you make that, you shrug your shoulders, Matt, those were damn good players.
They were good players, but he also added some damn good players.
Okay,
in the
I'm just saying.
He didn't add Caleb Downs, but he added some pretty good players.
I'm just simply saying there was an exodus, and
it's truth.
And both had quarterbacks coming back, both very, very talented, different set of skill sets. Both can take off and move. But anyway, you guys lean just a little bit.
Just
all right?
barely.
Okay.
Just barely, Georgia.
And I'll just remind people as well. Kalen DeBoer, when he was first hired, people said, what? And Mike Norvell was trying to hit the redial. He was trying to get back to him, saying, wait a minute, I might want that job. But they go Kalen DeBoer as, what was it, Matt? Was it their third choice? Because they went Sark, Norvell.
Well, Kirby.
And Kirby. Okay, then they're fourth choice.
Kirby, put a call into Lanning.
Did they put a call into Lanning?
Yeah. So
okay. So now we're down to 5.
Yeah.
And so people at least kind of panned it. And I didn't. I didn't necessarily go one way or the other. I just simply said, that's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
He'll figure it out. I don't know if he knows how to recruit down here, but he'll figure it out.
Well, Matt, I affectionately call Dennis Erickson the substitute teacher.
And that's with love.
That's what, nothing but love, because because Jimmy was, he breaks what, all right?
Let's just say this. The further away you've gotten from that, those playing days with Dennis, you haven't love. Because when you guys were there, he was the substitute teacher. It really wasn't love. It was more like, just let us do our thing.
Exactly, that part. So that's the question I want to ask you. Because all I heard about Nick Saban was how tight he ran his ship.
Right.
And I'm wondering.
It's different now.
And I'm wondering.
Just music and practice.
Is DeBoer the same guy? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking. I mean, now we still won on that Dennis. Don't get me wrong, because we had so much talent.
Mm-hmm.
All he had to do is turn the key and start.
Right.
It was already a Porsche. I'm just asking you, that regiment of Nick in Alabama, is that still there? As far as how tight he ran this shit.
I don't know if I don't think it's the same tightness. I don't think it's the same idea of everybody's walking around ready. Because I wouldn't say everybody's walking around on eggshells there, because that's never the feeling I got anytime I went over in that building. It was more, they're ready. You know what I mean? Like one of those things.
Okay, so
and I think it's still that. Now, the question then becomes is when you get to game day, is it the still type of they're ready on game day type of thing? And so far, it's looked that way.
And I said that to ask this question because when Dennis Erickson came into '89, all right, we had a big game, all right. It was against Florida State in Tallahassee. Right. And he came in, we had all the media there, and the first thing he came in and said, you need to treat this like any other game, and we lost that match. I'm for real. We knew right then and there he was not locked in on what the magnitude of the game was. Right, and guess what happened? We lost. Yeah. We lost. Now, we won the championship that year, but we in Tallahassee.
You got him straightened out, you mean, then you won the championship.
Bro, when he said it's just another game, because listen, with Jimmy, Florida State was no class week with Jimmy.
The game. The game.
What do you mean no class week? You guys had to go to class.
No, we didn't.
No, academically speaking, there was another.
I'm just telling you what he told us. Be your butt here.
Because Campo was telling us about like the checks. They go to class and check, make sure you're
Leon lookalike. Leon lookalike.
Not Florida State week.
Yeah. Here's your books. Make sure you fill out a few things. Sign your name at the bottom. But all right. So real quick,
I think to your long story short, I think we're gonna find out what it's like with a big game for him.
Okay, so this is where I want to go. Okay, so roster, a little bit of a lean. Better coach.
Kirby.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go Kirby right now.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't think it's far of a drop to DeBoer. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm just trying to hear this. I want others out there to hear this. This is why I'm doing this exercise. Okay, and so better game day coach, better overall coach. Still giving it to Kirby?
Yeah, but again, I think it's not. You're not that far away with DeBoer.
Okay, because now just remember. Kalen DeBoer in ranked games against top 10 opponents, he's fared fairly well.
Yeah.
But he also got hammered in their big game because that other team had it going in Harbaugh. Okay? But against ranked opponents, he's something in the neighborhood of 10-2 against top 10 opponents. He's done a pretty damn good job handling Dan Lanning and Oregon and a few others.
Twice.
Okay, so game day coach, not by much, but you're still going to go Kirby. All right. Now what wins out?
Quarterback.
Atmosphere. We already know quarterback. Both of these guys have their thing.
Yeah, but who do you take? Who do you take in that quarterback? I'm taking
Carson.
Are you?
Yeah, but at home, Milroe is dealing.
That's the deal. Milroe's at home.
I really like Carson.
Yeah.
I think Carson's going to be a good pro, too, but I'm not. I mean, in the college game?
Yeah.
I think I might go with Milroe.
All right. And let's hold this over. We'll do this. All right. Because
in this game, anyway.
Yeah.
In this game.
In this game, how does Mike Bobo call this? How does DeBoer call this?
Yeah.
How does Kirby defend this? And then remember, towards the end, Nick had to go through a couple of defensive coordinators, had to run Pete Golding off. And so there was some erosion on that side of the ball. Yet he still figured out a way to beat Georgia when it mattered in the end. So let's get into that just a little bit more. Atmosphere versus coaching, too. Is coaching going to win out, or is that atmosphere going to win out? Let's do it. Coming up, it's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Gerard fires. Oh, he caught it! Unbelievable! Mike Thomas, touchdown Jags!
1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Last week, 2024 Select NASCAR hit shelves. Select's first return to NASCAR since 2017. 2 autographs come to a hobby box, and Zebra Prism cards make their NASCAR debut. It's Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care affordable with 6-month financing on their CFNA card, plus $50 off your next service. Frank Frangie here. With no interest for 6 months, now is the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Whether you need new tires, brakes, or general checkup, their skilled technicians have you covered. Visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to learn more and schedule an appointment at one of their 5 locations. Big Chief Tire keeps jacks rolling.
Hey, John, my dad, Randy Marion's gone absolute Cadillac crazy. You won't believe our Escalade lineup.
Well, how crazy we talking, Jennifer?
Buckle up, folks. We've got over 35 Cadillac Escalades.
35 Escalades? That's luxury overload.
I'm talking fully loaded models, cutting-edge tech, and that signature Cadillac style.
And the deals are even more luxurious. $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Plus 5% off MSRP on retired courtesy vehicles. Head to Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Plus tax tag title $899 MNP and resistol.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
A different vote for Miami football this season.
Find out what you need to know about the Canes on the Performance Painting Hurricane Report.
Keep an eye on the Canes as they strike back on 1010XL. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Right now, they're on their way to ruin your day. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. And if you're not prepared, you will suffer. Yes, it's that time of the year. Heat and humidity are attacking North Florida. But help is at hand. Call Mike Merritt's Heating and Air Conditioning. Mike Merritt has a license to chill and lets you maintain your comfort zone at a bargain price. How? Mike Merritt stands ready to help, routine or emergencies. And Mike Merritt knows emergencies can happen at any time. So with Mike, there's never any overtime charges. And Mike's team works without commissions. Merritt will never try to sell you parts you don't need. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Call Mike Merritt, the company North Florida has trusted for 35 years. Call today. License number CAC 050384.
Frank Frangie here. It's time for Bravo Days, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified sales event at Nimnik Buick GMC. Now, for a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 1.9% APR or $500 in down payment assistance on Car Bravo certified vehicles at Nimnik. Now is the time to shop certified used vehicles and buy with confidence at Nimnik Buick GMC. Shop online at nimnikbuickgmc.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlion from MyBookie. Our listeners continue to bet and win big with MyBookie. If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they are still running the double deposit bonus. Just sign up with promo code 1010XL. We have a huge week starting with college and NFL games on Thursday night. Get signed up now for Virginia Tech traveling to Miami. The Hurricanes are a 17-point favorite with an over-under at 55.5 at MyBookie. With the way Miami's been scoring, covering that spread looks like no problem. And how about a Thursday night football division matchup? The Cowboys travel to New York to take on the Giants. The Giants are 4.5-point home underdogs. If you think they can keep this one close, take those 4.5 points with the Giants. For a limited time, MyBookie is bringing back the double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. Double your money with 1010XL before you even place a bet. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime, and make your season a winning season at MyBookie.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Hanging out on a Thursday afternoon. Hope everybody's good. It looks, I haven't even looked at the weather. Have you guys checked? I just know that I pulled some umbrellas down, pulled them in. I didn't want any wind wrecking my backyard setup. But I haven't looked at the weather to see if it's coming.
Well, I saw something last night on the news where it said by 11 p.m., probably be the 11 p.m. to like
tonight.
Yeah, 11 p.m. That's when the stuff is supposed to hit the fan.
And how much? Meteorologist Matt, I know, is checking in on this.
Of course.
You all laugh at me, man.
The beaten ball of XL Primetime.
I'm just going by what it's not like. I'm just going by what I read, man. That's
I know,
all.
But where are we at? Because I have not checked anything.
Like tonight, it's supposed to get a little nasty around, like Leon said, around 11, 12, somewhere around there.
Okay.
40, 50 mile an hour winds.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Gusts. But you never know. Like it could move one way or the other. Like if it moves west, then we're good. We'll get less. If it moves east.
And where are we with the model?
If it moves east, let me tell you something, pal. You better batten down the hatches, man.
Yeah, if it does. And look, I have seen them rip through the center of the state, which is not ideal.
No.
And I know that they've already fouled up some travel plans, FSU and others, because it is kind of looking like it's heading. The funnel is pointing towards Tallahassee. But so, all right, somewhere around midnight. If you guys got any updated intel, I'll definitely bring it back to us. On the text line at 641-1010. So we finished off that last seg just talking about both sides of the ball. Alabama, with Nick on the sidelines, has won 8 of the last 9 against the Dogs. So we know that Nick still rules, especially even with Kirby and their back-to-back natties. They still had won 8 of 9, including the SEC championship game this past season, which knocked Georgia out. And who knows what would have happened if they'd have been able to get into that Final Four. They have not lost a regular season game since 2020. Kirby hasn't. It's just crazy. But I just went back and posed that question. Atmosphere or coaching? What will win out on Saturday? Is that atmosphere going to be enough to propel Bama to another win? Because obviously they got a good team. They're only, a 1.5, 2-point dog? Hard Rock that bet? Is that about what it is?
2.5, I think, yeah.
Is it gone? Ooh, is it gone that high?
I think it's 2.5.
No. All right, let me look. But will the atmosphere trump coaching if we say Kirby's a better coach? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I've been in those type of situations where I would say coaching. The reason why I would say coaching is just because I've had to go in those atmospheres, the Doak Campbells and all that other kind of stuff. And if you got a good game plan, right. you can go in. You can go in if you got a good game plan established. Yeah, absolutely. I think coaching and you stick to it. I think absolutely coaching can win out the atmosphere. The whole idea is to keep the crowd noise down. That's the biggest factor. The crowd noise and the hostility, the hate that's drawn towards you. But if you got a good game plan, I think you can win.
1.5 is the line.
Yeah, 1.5. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. It's still down.
But I will say this: the environment's going to be difficult. There's no doubt about it. You'll have false starts. Absolutely, you will. You're going to miss Tate Ratledge. He's a very good guard, Tate Ratledge. He's
offensive lineman for Georgia.
Guard. He's going to play in the NFL for 10 years. He's a very good player.
He had the tightrope surgery, and so he's out.
So he's out. They're going to miss him. That's a bigger deal, I think, than the environment. The environment's a big deal. You have a senior quarterback, so you have an experienced team. So you're going to get false starts, but it shouldn't be to the point where it's detrimental to what you're doing.
Right.
You should be good enough on that side of the ball at Georgia to deal with that. And I think they will. I think it's going to come down to, who's better prepared? Who's better prepared to play the game? And to your point, that then becomes coaching.
Yeah.
Who has their team better prepared, in better position to win the game?
Yeah, I just sit here and I try and figure it out. And Kalen DeBoer, while I do think a very good coach, I think players identify with him. I think he identifies with them. And I know that he's put a good product on the field to this point. May have even advanced Jalen Milroe a little bit more than what he was before with the previous offensive coaching staff.
I hear an Alabama lean from you.
Just saying, it you feel like they're going to get him.
Alabama?
Yeah. And I'm waffling.
I hate picking against Georgia.
Yeah.
Big games. Hate it. But I just, man, that place is going to be wild. You're right. But I think Jalen Milroe is a better player this year. He's a better thrower. Yeah. And they've got Ryan Williams, who's like nothing they've had in 2 years.
Superstar.
So that's a legit superstar wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, they can run the ball better this year than they did last year.
Right.
So, again, Georgia's going to be ready for this game. Georgia will flat out be ready for this game because of the way last year's SEC championship game ended. And Georgia in big games in the regular season, man, they are. Ooh.
One thing you did say, is the way that,
like, if they get it going on defense, if Georgia gets it going on defense and they start really getting lathered up, Alabama's got problems.
Right. Man. Look out. Look out. But counter to that is if they just go frothing at the mouth and go over the top in pursuit, and Jalen Milroe just jukes them and takes off, he's going to make them look silly.
Let me tell you this, too. Remember that double robber that they ran last year?
Mm-hmm.
The double spy, double robber, whatever you want to call it? Mm-hmm. They're not running that this year. I can guarantee you that. They're not going to just put 2 guys on Jalen Milroe to make sure he doesn't scramble and break contain and get big. No, they're going to run what they run now. That was a huge mistake for them last year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, they will not do that. They will run the defense they run this year.
And be very strict.
Yeah.
Assignment rich, all that
They're
stuff.
going to get after him is what they're going to do.
Yeah. That's what makes this game so saucy. The big game experience on both sides of the ball.
Sexy even.
Yeah. Neither one's going to waffle. The moment's never going to be too big for them. I love this about this game.
Yeah, I do too. This
I'm going to stay on the saucy with that one. Listen, I'll give you a saucy right now, as a matter of fact. And our man Connor O'Gara, he kills it at Saturday Down South, even though he misses Matt a little bit. But this is a great one. And I couldn't believe this. Alabama and Georgia will face off as top 4 teams for the 6th time since the start of 2017.
Saucy Nugs.
We are only in 2024, and this is the 6th time as top 4 teams since 2017. He adds to that Michigan and Ohio State, the big game.
Right.
Michigan and Ohio State have faced off as top 4 teams 6 times as well in the last 50 years. Is that not crazy?
Well, not only that, I mean, you could have 7 and 8 at some point this year, too, with Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah. But we're talking a half century of the big game, and they've only had them both 2 of the top 4 a half dozen times. This has happened 6 times. And I know there's all that SEC, maybe even SEC bias, but SEC love from the polls, because look how many of them are ranked at the top right now. But still, those are 2 behemoths in the game going toe-to-toe, head-to-head. And Kalen DeBoer just walking into this, just kind of getting a feel for it and seeing what it looks like.
This will be different for him. There's no doubt it will. In fact, if this was in Georgia, I would say Georgia's winning this game. It wouldn't be I wouldn't hesitate at all. But they're at home. So this is a big moment for him. And it doesn't mean he hasn't had a big moment.
Right.
I mean, the national championship game last year was a big moment. I mean, the Oregon game, both of them, and people don't understand this. The Washington-Oregon rivalry is like Florida-Georgia. They hate each other. So
those were big games.
He's coached in big games.
Yeah.
He's definitely has the moment or felt the moment of big games. This one's just a little different. That's all.
Yeah. And we haven't talked too much about any of the other ones. Like we got a little bit into Miami, Virginia Tech. We'll get into a few other ones tomorrow just to kind of get a little more of a setup and feel. We're about to enter October. This will be the last Saturday in September. One coach is already basically become a dead man walking in the month of September. Who would have thunk it? But he has in Billy Napier. And by the way, Trey Wilson with that knee surgery they did clean up. I believe it was his meniscus that they cleaned up. So he's sitting out. So he'll go past that 4-game window. Red shirt, here he comes, is probably how it's going to shake out.
I mean, Gio does say that the meniscus is a very difficult injury to come back from.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me. I'll tell you that right now.
Sucks for them, that's for sure. All right, XL Primetime, back to a little bit of your Jags and some Thursday night thoughts before tonight's game coming up. And then we've just been living in this big ball game, Georgia and Bama, so you guys can tell us what you think. 641-1010. Hit the text line.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010 XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell and Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell and Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 26, 1996, San Francisco Giants' Barry Bonds becomes the second MLB player to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases in a season.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson.
Welcome to the show, Steve.
What is... It's great to be here, Alex?
Yeah, you don't have to answer in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
What is... Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions?
Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions. Repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity. Making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence with a look at the Houston Texans defense.
Some things have changed. Personnel's changed a lot. They have a lot of new players, some really good players, some good additions to their team. So they're flying around. It's the same thing that jumped out on tape last year. Is this a defense that plays really hard, flies around, makes a lot of plays where even if they're out of position, their effort and their motor to get to the ball really makes up for it. So it's a tough defense to play against because they play hard every snap. Very fundamentally sound. They're well coached, but the effort there that each player brings to each position, that can overcome even when there are some mistakes or you get them or you scheme them up. That effort that they bring can cover up some of that stuff too.
Trevor Lawrence on the Texans. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Now, my takeaway is you want to know why Alabama and Georgia has a top 5 recruiting class every year? It's games like Saturday. 2 versus 4. If you're a high school kid, why wouldn't you want to go and play in a game like this on Saturday?
Incredible stakes and atmosphere. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just my takeaway is the more we talk about it, the more fired up I get about it because it's just and I love the fact that it's huge. There's no doubt it's huge, and there's no doubt there's a lot on the line for both teams right now, but we could see it 2 more times. Like they could play in the SEC championship game and then meet again in the playoff.
Right.
So this is. I have a feeling we're not done with Alabama, Georgia this year. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and as long as if they do play multiple times, it's better than LSU and Alabama when they played multiple times.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
And LSU did not cross midfield until the third quarter.
Though that did lead to the first playoff.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was something good about it.
Yeah, it caused enough embarrassment that angst that they changed it. All right, my takeaway is off of this discussion and off of what you guys just did. Those are 2 really special quarterbacks. Carson Beck and Jalen Milroe are top shelf quarterbacks. Take a look at what Dave Portnoy, of Barstool fame, he is willing. Portnoy went on social and said, I will go out and get Michigan a top 10 quarterback every year with NIL, #GoBlue, which led them to put out right now, at the very least, what the chatter is as far as the going rate with NIL for some of these big-time players. As a matter of fact, if you added up the tab for both Texas Longhorns quarterbacks, which we have seen both of them already early, $5.3 million. Travis Hunter is listed right now at $5.1 million. Looks like Milroe is listed at $2.2 million. Cam Ward, Heisman frontrunner, listed at $1.9 million. And I'm just going to go with Nico Eo because I like it. It's kind of my nickname for him. $1.9 million. Is that not incredible? So Portnoy's like, whatever it takes, I'll buy one and send him up there so they don't have Orgy running around.
Iamaleava.
Oh, no, I got it. Believe me, I got it. I'm calling him Nico Eo because it makes me happy. Okay? And by the way, it's Iamaleava. Iamaleava. Just so we get it right.
Iamaleava.
Yeah, exactly.
Iamaleava?
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
Yeah. Iamaleava. That's exactly what it is. But
I think that's another one of your made up.
I like calling him Nico Eo. So anyway, now the rich of the rich are going to get involved. And
we're going to do this for 2 more years. You know that,
yeah,
right?
I know. He'll at least stick around 1 more. He was a freshman, and he can leave after next year. He probably won't go past that. But isn't that crazy? Yeah. We have a guy that's willing to pony up some big cash. It will be big cash.
Dang, it costs to be the boss.
Yeah.
It costs to be. You want a top flight. How's it working out for Miami?
That's a booster, man.
It's working out well for them.
Hey, we had to come through 1.9. Well worth it.
It's crazy when you think about it because the amount of money and like we said,
well, they have the number one quarterback next year is from Michigan, but he's committed to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is he's probably throwing that out there because they want to try and flip him.
Right.
So
why not?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure LSU is going to pay him a lot of money.
And
so we'll see.
Yeah. And LSU, they love their football. Brian Kelly went down there for one very obvious reason. I have more passion around me from a booster point of view, and that is saying something when you say Notre Dame doesn't have as much passion as LSU. It might be a good argument, but LSU has passion and they're willing to pay for it, and they can get kids into their school. And so that's a three-pronged deal that Brian Kelly was going for when he went down to Baton Rouge, because he always had the passion. How could you not? Touchdown Jesus and all that, but did he
how could you not?
Yeah. Did he have the ability to get kids in? Did he have the ability to get all that extra NIL dough? Did he have all those people going all the way to the top of that stadium, filling it up, 90-some thousand crazed Cajuns? So that's why he did that. I did laugh, though, when I was looking on social. Lane Kiffin took a shot at Hugh Freeze. On 3 posted it. Lane Kiffin blasts Hugh Freeze. Quote, he'll try to steal the Grove NIL staff, quote, like he's tried all of our coaches. So that's Lane just swiping the former hotty-totty head coach, Hugh Freeze, which I'm okay with. I don't have a problem with
why
that.
not?
Yeah, I know. It's good. Where is Hugh Freeze?
It doesn't mean all of a sudden he's a bad guy because he goes on X and, says some funny stuff. So what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, where is Hugh Freeze at right now? Because he's got to be real and
Trying
just
to find a
little
quarterback.
bit. Yeah.
He's in desperate need of a quarterback. That's where he is.
And you said he was catching flack yesterday for stating the obvious.
Oh, yeah. He's been catching flack all week for stating the obvious, for saying that we need to find a quarterback that stops throwing it to the other guy.
I think that's refreshing.
Right. Well, I think it's true, number one.
Right.
And number two, once these guys start making money on NIL deals, guess what? You're free. Now you're wide open to criticism now.
Well, it does come along with it.
I mean, you better believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amateurism is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right out the window, and that's just the way it's going to be. All right, so from the amateur to the pros, just a thought from you two as we get close to that Thursday night kick tonight. What could happen? Cowboys versus the Giants. It's not like Brian Dable saved his job by beating the Browns, or Daniel Jones all of a sudden became a perfect quarterback. But winning that football game got the hounds off of those two for at least a little while. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys get ripped to shreds by the New Orleans Saints a couple of Sundays ago and then go and lose another one. They're reeling. What do you think happens?
Well, listen, if you're the Giants, how do you not watch the last 2 weeks of Cowboys defense to say they can't run? You got to establish the Cowboys can't stop a nosebleed as far as the run game goes. They got 200 yards on them 2 weeks in a row. So why wouldn't you set up too tight, whatever the formations that the Ravens and the Saints ran, and just run it right down their throat?
What was the number? They had given up 287 yards, maybe even over 3 the last couple of weeks, over 300 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Getting shredded.
I think that Zimmer ball is
Well, here's another dumb question. I like asking dumb questions. They went from Dan Quinn to Mike Zimmer, and Zimmer is respected. Quinn certainly was. Both of them have or are right now head coaches in the case of Quinn. But how did he go from looking so good to looking so bad and they're all over him? Is it the personnel?
I don't know.
It's the same personnel.
Yes.
It's essentially the same defense.
Yeah, and both of them have looked good at times as the defensive coordinator of that same defense, and now Zimmer's looking bad.
It does. Looking real bad.
So is it because of the player, like full focus, or not doing their job, or the coordinator's not doing his job?
Probably yes and yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, why is this team 0-3? Same thing. It's essentially the same team.
Yeah.
With 4 or 5 guys that are added in specific spots, but it's essentially the same group, the same nucleus of guys. Why are they 0-3?
Yeah, it is.
You know why they're 0-3? Because they were 1-5 to finish last season.
Yeah, well, and
I mean, you are who you are at the end of the day.
And in a lot of ways, an organizational fail, which is how Shaw described it. Because top to bottom, they haven't done a whole hell of a lot of good recently.
And if you watch that game with the Giants and the Cleveland, the defensive front for the Giants teed off on that offensive line that we couldn't get a sniff on.
I told you guys, nine New York Giants.
I said, no, I can't unsee what I saw.
Mm-hmm. 9 New York Giants got credited with at least half a sack.
Yes.
They got to Deshaun Watson 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
This team, couple. That was it. And then this past week, nothing, nada. They didn't really get to Josh Allen. Didn't dirty his jersey. They probably could have sold that as a game worn and still clean for a lot of money.
I don't get it because the first half of the Dolphins game, they were all over Tua. All over him.
Mm-hmm.
Really good pressure. Like, where is that?
I don't know. But the other part of it is, as we kind of wrap up our show and Rip the Roster Day will continue. It's not just one day, but Rip the Roster Day.
I think you got to start ripping hearts.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of hearts that are pumping Kool-Aid on that team, if you know what I mean.
Maybe. And I'm not taking it away and saying the players aren't responsible. I'm just saying whoever wins is putting together a good plan from top to bottom, drafts well, coaches well, game plans well, and performs well. And a lot of they fall under all these different headings. Hey, personnel guy, you got to make sure we have good people.
Mm-hmm.
You got to re-sign and reward the guys that are working their tails off. You got to say goodbye to the other ones that aren't. But you got to make sure that you win more than you lose on draft day. Hey, bring in a free agent here or there. Make us better. That's the job of them. Then the head coach has to make sure he has a good coaching staff.
Yes.
To make these players better, and then game plan better. And so there's fails, and of course the players involved too.
Yeah.
There's fails everywhere.
Yeah. You gotta make them feel uncomfortable. What did I send? I sent something in this.
I loved it with the one you sent earlier.
I saw this online. I said I had to send it to y'all because it says you can't practice soft and expect to play hard.
And by the way,
is there a T on that soft?
There is a T on that soft.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson in life, people. That plays across many fronts, all right?
Yes, it does.
It 100% plays across many fronts. But that's I'm trying to get at all of it because I don't even know where the main leak is or where the immediate fix could be.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't, other than my suggestion. Just start to run the football earlier in the game. Get some bodies off of Trevor. Trevor has no chance. Try and do something in a physical way and win at the line of scrimmage. And as much as Devon Hamilton went through a really tough offseason challenge health-wise, he was supposed to come back and be more of a piece of the puzzle interiorly. Eric Armstead was signed to come in and be more a piece of the puzzle interiorly. I was counting on both of those guys. They've not done a whole hell of a lot. And when you don't have that, Roy Robertson Harris, you can go down the line with the interior guys or rotational guys that haven't done anything, and then the pass rush is not showing up. So both lines of scrimmage are not getting it done. As one of our texters said it earlier, Trev, challenges, yeah, I'll agree, but he didn't give up 47 points. And Josh Allen just went up and down that field. 4 touchdown drives in the first half. Record-setting stuff.
Listen, my experience in the league is that your O-line and D-line is the heartbeat of your team. How they play is going to dictate everything else. And if you got both sides of the ball soft, then your team is soft.
See, there was no T on that right there.
Yeah,
soft.
And I go back to what was my one mantra during the entire offseason that you had to fix. They couldn't get a 3rd and 1, and they couldn't stop a 3rd and 1. And where are we? They can't get one, and they can't stop one.
There it is.
And if that's the case, then we's in for a long one. All right, as a matter of fact, we's in for a long one. The embedded and shredded is like, I don't need a damn chair. Just give me the microphone.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Look at him there, Stan. You're one handsome man, you know that?
If you're watching on
it's
YouTube.
It's time to get serious.
Yeah, if you're watching on
no
YouTube.
sitting until this organization wins a football game.
The embedded and shredded
get
right now.
The chairs out of the building.
Hey, Richie, you need to come in and remodel this bad boy. But he also looks like Elvis right now. He does. That microphone. If you're on YouTube, you can see him. He definitely is funny.
I'm definitely all shook up.
Yeah, you are. But we were just talking about it, and I'll just go back to my mantra. can't get a 3rd and 1, can't stop a 3rd and 1. You're not going to win a whole hell of a lot if you can't do either one of those things on any regular basis.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what's so disappointing is we knew they were a finesse team, coming into the year. That's just how they've built it. But you still have to have a modicum of physicality team, and they don't even have that. I mean, a finesse team is giving them too much credit right now, and that's what's so disappointing. So it's I mean, can they change it? They've certainly got, the math is on their side from the standpoint of they still have so much of the season left to play, but it's just hard for me to see them resurrecting this thing when they've been this listless and they just get pushed around, to your point, on both sides of the ball. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll get into all that on the Frangie Show coming up. We will talk college football. We'll have our Woolsey Morecambe National College Football Report with Mike Griffith, which will be a lot of fun, who covers the dogs for the AJC up in Atlanta. So that'll be great to have him on to talk some college football, and we'll get into the Jaguars' ins and outs coming up on the Frangie Show.
Think Griffith's having any fun with what's going on up there and what ain't happening in Gainesville? Oh, my.
We'll get into it. We'll ask him what he thinks of the Florida job.
Oh, my gosh. All right, Hayes. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, we will be listening. You got Hayes, France, JJ. They're all coming up. Oh, Griff, yeah, he
Carlin's talking about resurrections.
Yeah.
That would be the greatest resurrection since Lazarus if they pulled it off here.
Yeah, if they could come back, yeah. And I don't like their chances, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. Because like we said,
don't like their chances.
The teams that the Texans beat aren't that impressive, and it can turn quickly in the NFL. It has happened before. Don't know if it'll happen this go-around or not. All right, we had a good time. Tell Tight Lady thank you.
Appreciate you, Tight Lady.
Yeah, you're the man. We had a good time today. Definitely enjoy. Don't forget Bold City Brewery. They got their Boldtoberfest going all the way into the weekend, so celebrate with them as they celebrate Boldtoberfest. BoldCityBrewery.com. You can check them out on Riverside on Roselle Street, and right there at Bold City downtown. We done. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ.
Yeah, I mean, we suck right now, so I don't.
Scared money don't make money,
Continue to pour into each other and the opportunity we have.
All right, thank you.